Discus Lariat.
The huge suplex.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you today? It is February 4th. My name is Aaron Phillips, and no, you're not watching, I don't know, some other show. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Come to you live from the WWDBTV studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. That's right. I'm back with these boys. Had to take last week off. I was out of town, and let me tell you, don't tell them this, but I actually miss them not being here with them. That's the thing. But I know. Thank you for watching, everybody. By the way, if you're watching us, thank you so much for making us part of your day. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Ronald. You can also, if you have to go run some errands, you can download the WWDBTV. Ronald's getting started with you within a minute, isn't he?
WWDBTV.
For your Android apps and WWDBTV LV. If you have an iPhone product, you can catch us on the go. And of course, if you missed the show and want to see anything that we do back again, God only knows why, because it's only good the first time, check us out on the Roku channel for WWDB-TV. Gentlemen, I have to say this again. I missed being here with you guys last week. It's good to be back with you, Mr. Matt. How are you today?
Glad you're back.
Thank you.
And I'm doing good, just dealing with the nonsense of Fremont.
Oh, we can't wait to hear. We got a whole new segment opening.
Good one.
Excellent. Mr. Chief, how are you, sir?
Doing outstanding. And just fans, so you know, we're on Canadian tilt times today.
God.
There we go. Pass it on.
Oh, I should have brought my referee flags. Anyway, Mr. Thomas, the historian, how are you feeling, sir?
Much better. Glad to be back.
Good. Well, it's good to have everybody back. We were
I
back
see the
in full
assassins
strength.
have failed yet again.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. He was sick. For a couple of weeks. Who knows? He may have super strength and gotten past it. See, Jennifer. Jennifer stands up
Thank
for you.
you,
Thomas
Jennifer.
is a great addition to the show. Jennifer, maybe you're watching the wrong
Thank you,
show.
Jennifer.
But anyway.
Good morning, Ben. How you doing in
Ben.
Kentucky there, buddy?
That's right.
Hope it's a little warmer than yesterday.
By the way, if you're in the chat room, you'll notice at the bottom of the chat room, there's something in there about stars. So what would help us is if you are so inclined to click on that mention about stars. Thank you, Ben. That's actually stuff that helps our show. So check it out. Yeah, you have to, make a little donation for stars and stuff, but some of that actually, believe it or not, it's a fundraiser for us guys. So if you see that at the bottom of the chat room, please consider it, and we would appreciate it. Of course, share our feed as always. Want to thank everybody who's in the chat room, as always. But we know what time it is.
Story time with Matt.
John, did I give you enough time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Story.
And now here is your host, Matt Mullen.
It's me.
Great opening. I love that.
Mine
Go
is
for
like
it.
heart attack grill related this week.
All right.
There's a guy that was passed out at one of the tables, was high on life.
Very well.
Is that what
I tried to wake him up a couple times, and he was like, "Hey, bro, you got to pay for your bill. You got to wake up, blah, blah." And he eventually gets up, and he's like, "I'm not paying for anything." And I was like, "It doesn't work that way. If you ate it, you got to pay for it." And then he was like, "I'm not paying for anything." And he lifts his shirt up, and you see a gun in his waistband. And I was like, "Great." And I was like, "All right, you can leave. Fucking life ain't worth $35. And I was like, "Hold on, I got to make a phone." He's like, "You call security. I'm going to blow this place up, or I'm going to shoot everybody," or something like that. And I was like, "All right, cool." I had my jacket on, so like my security shirt was under it. He just thought I was a manager or something.
Cool.
And I was like, "Hold on, let me call my friend real quick." I called 911, and I was like, "Hey, person with a gun, heart attack grill, get here now. Don't roll code so it fucking freaks this dude out." So he goes out the door, and like 2 minutes later, there's metro coming from freaking everywhere.
Wow.
And I was just like,
Damn.
that guy. All of a sudden, like, get on the ground. He got very startled, and he is now eating burgers at the CCDC.
Well, having that new
What
substance.
they call burgers.
Yep. Don't want to know where that mystery meat comes from.
Yeah.
That new substation, though, they're talking about building and having available down near Fremont, correct?
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Any ideas when that's going to be ready and available? Because that
Couple
obviously
months.
will be great for you as someone on security to have those guys like right there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do they have a target date? Do you know?
It's a couple months away.
Okay.
It's
Well-
next to Krispy Kreme's.
It's literally right across the street from us.
All right. Well, that's good. So it'll keep you safe and keep you doing what you need to do to protect everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good that they're
On
down.
Fremont Street or on the opposite side?
You know, like where the Walgreens and Hennessy's and Mickey's
Yeah,
is?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be like right above that.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That's good. So that's also where they go upstairs for the zip line, right? Kind of
Yeah.
like in that
Yeah.
office structure.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Well, that's
That'll
good.
That'll be fantastic for you, man.
Oh yeah.
And everybody on Fremont. I mean, keep everybody safe. But yeah, certainly for Matt for backup, it's just maybe just give him like a buzzer system, hit a button so that you don't have to call him. Just like, need a help. Let's go. Come down.
Like when it gets closer, we're all gonna have a meeting with the Metro and Marshals and figure out how to get a hold of
Right
them
on.
quickly and all that.
Very
That's
good.
great.
Well, that's good. Good. And hopefully that gentleman enjoy his life. Just don't drop the soap. That's all I got to say about that.
Maybe,
I hope he
he's-
drops it twice.
maybe he'll have false teeth. by eating all the hamburgers.
He'll be the most popular guy in jail.
Talk about eating hamburgers. But anyway, it is now time for some rumors to discuss what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling. It is now time for I Hear Voices. Rumor is Triple H or higher ups in WWE just don't see Sami Zayn as a WrestleMania main eventer or a face for WWE. Now, that kind of sounds familiar to me to a storyline not too long ago with The Authority that they didn't see him either. So your thoughts on whether WWE is right or wrong, Matt?
I don't necessarily see Sami Zayn as like the face of the company, but he definitely deserves the main event push as far as what he's been doing recently. He definitely deserves the main event of Elimination Chamber he's about to get. And in front of his hometown, that's going to be like the hottest crowd in a long time. But I don't know. I've seen him do interviews. He goes, I could definitely win a title and like wear it for like 6 months with everything that's going on.
Sure.
But as far as him being like the next Roman or Cena or the person that goes on like all the late night shows and stuff,
Right.
He is entertaining and stuff, but Triple H and them, they want like the bigger,
Sure.
looking
Charismatic.
muscle dudes,
Yeah.
charismatic guys to be
Right.
like the face of WWE. And
So, Chief, do you think that after what he's done with the bloodline, should Sammy
Sammy.
have at least an opportunity to have a belt around his waist, even if it's for a short term or transitional period, as a thank you for what he has done with the bloodline story thus far, Chief?
I have to get educated for a minute, gentlemen. What show is going to be in Montreal?
Elimination Chamber.
Okay. I don't think he's going to be in the Elimination Chamber. I think something's going to happen between now and then that he and Kevin Owens are going to be going against the Usos for the tag belts. And they're going to win the tag belts in their hometown.
well, something already happened on SmackDown.
That's what I
And
think.
basically, Sammy challenged him, and Roman said, I'll do it at Elimination Chamber because you ruined my family.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to destroy you in front of yours. So the match is already official
Yeah.
for the WWE Universal
Wow.
Heavyweight Championship
That's
at
why-
Elimination Chamber.
That's why they have card subject to change.
You know,
Thomas?
he's not the face of the company, but he should be the one that ends Roman's streak because he's super hot and it's in Montreal.
Okay.
If he doesn't win the belt, they better have some sort of really screwy finish or that crowd's going to be really, really angry. They better have the Mountie available.
Why?
God, her neighbors.
Why would they?
Jacques Rizzo.
Oh, yeah. Jacques.
Thinking about it though, why would they have Sammy stop Roman's streak when they had Cody come in at number 30 to win the Rumble and to face Roman at WrestleMania?
He wanted to face the WWE champion, not necessarily Roman Reigns.
They could split the belts. We've been talking about it for the last year.
Yeah,
I don't
made
think
it-
they're going to do Sammy versus Cody as the main event of
No.
WrestleMania, but there's going to be some screwy finish at Elimination Chamber involving Kevin Owens and the Bloodline.
And
Yeah.
also Uso, right? Jey Uso, who walked
Yeah.
out.
And the crowd was chanting for We Want Jay.
Yeah. So they're. I think what they've done is they've left a lot of potential roads open,
The-
leading to WrestleMania at the very least. But him having the shot at the belt and in his home at home
Mhm.
is a terrific thing to do, and give him that opportunity as well. Chief.
I stand corrected. What I heard was that something's going to happen between Roman and Sammy in Montreal.
Okay, at Elimination Chamber.
Kevin's going to come out and to save Sammy. Sammy and Roman, Sammy and Kevin are going to get into it with the Usos, and they're going to wrestle each other at WrestleMania.
Okay,
For the
that's certainly a
belts,
possibility.
For the belts.
But that's under
that's
the
what
presumption
I
that
heard.
Jay is back in the fold to some degree. Because with him walking out, we saw last night with a battle royale, not a battle royale, but multiple tag teams for the number one contender. You have who's
Braun and Ricochet versus the
thank
Usos
you, yes,
next.
Braun and Ricochet next week on TV for the titles.
Yes.
But there's still no sighting of Jey Uso.
I think it's going to be Jimmy and Solo to defend the tag.
That's what I was thinking.
But
Almost
then
like the
Jay,
Freebird
we don't.
rules.
I don't think we see Jay until the Chamber.
I
But
could be.
then Jay turns on Sammy, and then we get the Usos versus KO and Sammy at WrestleMania.
Ronald says the Usos will not be at Elimination Chamber. And then I saw something come up from our friend Pest out on YouTube. Bet Sammy, can you go back to the first one? Bet Sammy
too
get
much.
back together with the bloodline. Sammy turns into a Roman bootlicker. Not the next one. Give me the.
A Roman,
I love Pest's take on all of
a
this stuff.
Roman bootleg.
Liquor, like he's brown nosing him. Sammy is too much of a weirdo for mainstream media. But we've seen other weirdos
Yeah.
have belts for again, a short term. We're not talking, a 4-year streak with the title.
Yeah.
Just something to pay, because I think at Elimination Chamber, everybody's kind of expecting a payoff of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think some swerve that we're all talking about here is very, very possible and doable. The wild card is Jey Uso,
Mhm.
regarding that at least. It's a wild card that we'll see if it's played to some capacity on SmackDown next week. I agree. I think Solo is going to be taking his place using the Freebird rules,
Mhm.
so to
Yeah.
speak. But that's why we talk about it, because there's so many opportunities. And I kind of like what Chief is saying. I dig it. And the other thing I read is that this whole thing with Jay is a swerve against Sammy.
It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how Adam Pearce is going to play it on TV. I mean, we all know the writers are going to write it the way they want to
Sure.
backstage,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll be interesting to see how Pearce will portray it
Right.
out in front of the cameras.
It's official.
What they need to do is get the DOA from Impact to come in and make it a match announcement. Next rumor is Stone Cold Steve Austin won't be wrestling at 39, as he has turned down the handful of matches that he had been offered for a boatload of money. Gentlemen, Thomas, we'll start with you.
We didn't think he was going to wrestle last year. Well, except I did. I kept calling it when they were building it up.
La dee da dee da.
Yeah.
So
He'll
do you
be
think
there.
he's going to be there
Yeah.
wrestling?
Yeah, he'll have some sort of match.
Okay. Chief?
I like Stone Cold, always have liked Stone Cold. I'm sorry he's not going to be there. I think he'll be there in some capacity,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sorry he's not getting in the ring for, one last.
Well, as of right now, that is very true. We still have a couple of months. Something can
Because
happen.
they said they offer, from what, all the dirt sheets,
Mhm.
they've offered him a lot of money. And,
With, again, some big names, too, I think.
but the question is, does he really need the
No.
money?
No, we
No.
don't need the money, no.
And quite frankly, I don't think he really needs to wrestle anymore either.
No.
But Matt,
I don't think he needs either, but he wants to prove it to himself, I'm sure, because of the way he went out. He didn't go out on his own terms, really, except
Wouldn't
for
that
the
have been
Kevin
enough?
Owens match.
wouldn't that have been enough? I was going to say, wouldn't that have been enough last year that he, what he did showing that he could still do it in the ring. I mean, it wasn't in a match per se, but still was taking bumps and doing the stunner and doing his thing.
The match,
You know.
the bell rang.
Yeah, I know, but still, could that not have been enough for him to prove that he could still do it and go out on his own?
Maybe, but once you get that itch back, it's kind of hard to
Get rid of it.
get rid of it. Yeah.
Ronald puts in the chat room, Sammy is great. And how about this? The Rock comes out at Elimination Chamber to cost Roman the title. We've been talking about The Rock getting involved somehow, some way with the bloodline for the last handful of months. And I think there's one thing we've all sort of agreed upon, at least if I recall correctly. The Rock doesn't need to get in and go nose to nose with Roman in the ring to set up something.
No.
All he needs to do at the end of a match with Roman, just come out on the ramp, let his music hit, drop the glasses, raise the eyebrow, give him the come get some. Paul Heyman and the guys hold him back, and then Rock just turns around and goes back behind the curtain.
Yeah.
I mean, something like that. I would love to see The Rock come out and do something if the baton of the family is going to be passed in any point in time. So
Sure.
Is the Rock the one that's going to pass the torch for the family? Should he be the one?
he's the only one actively. He's the only one that still could do that within the ring environment, because this day and age, nobody's talking really about Offensica and all those other guys. You know, Rock is the remaining legend of that family.
But does he really need a
No,
pass
he doesn't.
torch?
He doesn't need to.
Roman's
But
already a big enough star.
Let's see if this makes Chief mad. The Rock is the biggest name to ever come out of that family by a mile.
I would venture to say his mom's the biggest that's come out of the family, because
You ask 10 wrestling fans what his mom's name is, they have no
if
idea.
it wasn't for his mom, there wouldn't be no Rocky. So I'll leave it at that. No, my point is, I just think that I think if it's going to be an official passing, it should be Alpha and Sika, because they are the oldest members of
they kind of did.
They're also irrelevant.
the family.
And I agree.
And
with
I
you.
heard his
But didn't they do
comment
that?
about irrelevance.
But didn't they do that when they put the lei around his
Yeah,
neck, sort of
they
when
already-
he
yeah,
was at the top of the ramp? At
Yeah,
that
when
point?
Yeah, they already
When
did
he-
it to
When he
Roman.
beat Jay and they can Hell in a Cell.
Right, when he beat you. So I agree with what you're saying, but I think they kind of already did that from them.
Yeah.
So
They all, never mind.
No. So I want to hear what you're saying.
They all wear,
Right.
The late.
okay, they all do.
Sure.
That's not passing the torch of the family.
Except Roman did not wear that
Okay.
until they gave him that.
And I
And I think, go ahead.
and
Yeah,
I understand that.
right.
I still say they are the senior members of the family. Knowing that culture,
Mhm.
and we, you know what, we can ask the question
Mhm.
on the 25th when Rikishi's there.
As a matter of fact, his name just came up. Ronald
Okay.
just brought his name up. Should he be the one to pass the torch?
Well, I think him and damn it.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like
Ming.
yeah, man.
You know,
I know you're talking about.
He's
Yeah.
an uncle in the family also.
Yes, he is.
So you got a good point. Do the uncles pass it?
I don't think an uncle is as strong as The Rock would be.
Or do the grandfathers pass it?
What's the biggest torch? The uncle that's not
You
a
know?
big thing anymore that nobody really cares about or thinks about? Or the torch from
Well, I'm sure if
the biggest wrestling star in the family, the biggest movie actor in the world?
I'm sure if Rikishi come out, he'd get a pop if people didn't know it.
He
Well,
would.
he'll get a pop.
He'd
yeah.
definitely get a pop, but he
You
wouldn't
know.
get a bigger pop than The
You know.
Rock.
All right, one last comment before we go to break. We are running a minute or two behind. John Cena's status for WrestleMania is sort of up in the air because he's supposedly going to be filming in Australia till the end of March, which obviously won't give him time to get ring ready for WrestleMania, even to promote anything. So will we not see him, or will he be training while he's in Australia to do something that we don't expect?
So does that mean we're not going to have The Rock or Cena?
That's what it seems to be projecting towards.
So who do they bring in? Or who do they use that's already there?
That's why I'm like assuming Stone Cold Steve Austin's gonna have to be there in some way, shape, or form.
Does Undertaker come in?
He's not gonna wrestle.
How about Kane? I think Kane could wrestle.
But is he a big enough draw with those two main names not coming?
No.
That's the question. I think it's possible that whatever they may be thinking even though their schedule is for both of these guys, I think they're trying to keep whatever they have in mind more hush-hush in a way, even if they just make a public appearance, not wrestle in the match, but somehow be there physically in something that will be able to work around their
Well, they had
moves.
whatever angle they saw with him and Theory in the can.
Yeah, that is very true. All right, we got to hold right there. We'll continue those comments. We'll get into talking about the Rumble next because there's still a lot of stuff that came out of that. All right, you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Matt, Chief, Thomas, myself, we will be back in 60 seconds.
Thoughts Count Anywhere. Y'all watching it. These are my new tag team partners, Steve-O, a.k.a. Zeus, from the hit movie Friday, and from No Holds Barred.
Hello, this is Martin Casals, aka Marty the Mob, and you're watching the Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. Enjoy.
What's up, man? It's your boy, Seppa Fatu. I'm here with my man, Big Chief. I need you to check out the podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere.
This is Impact Wrestling's Dash and Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, former Finesse Division champion, and you're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast.
Hi, I'm Sean Davari. Listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere for all your wrestling news.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit hey, all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is the essential character EC3 on behalf of my dear friends at Thoughts Count Anywhere. The podcast for your mind when you need deep thinking about all things sports and entertainment.
Hey, what's going on? This is Axe, and I'm smashing the demolition.
Hey, we want to invite you to watch every Saturday morning Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Hey guys, it's Tessa Blanchard and Ozzy, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
All right, we are back. We want to thank Tessa. We want to thank everybody that you just saw in that promo for spending a few seconds and giving us a shout out and encouraging you all to watch. With that, February, 25th, 26th, is that right? 24, 25, 26, something like that?
25th.
Impact. What is it?
Are you
24, 25, 26.
That's what I said.
Taping.
That's what I said the third time. Impact is in town, but along with Impact Wrestling, we have a card show going on, Chief.
Sports Cards, Toys, and Collectibles show put on by Power Play Sports, Mr. Scott Hosey at Sam's Town. Some of the sponsors: Impact, Game Day, Captain Ticket, My Four Sons, The Pop Shack, Chadman, and our friends Garth and Brandon at Finley Mazda.
There you go. And give the information for the card show?
Saturday, February 25th, 26th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. $5 admission, Sam's Town Hotel and Gambling Hall. Some of the people that Impact are going to provide for signing. We have Brian Myers, Josh Alexander, Tommy Dreamer. We're going to have Rikishi, Willie Gautz coming in from the Oakland Raiders, Santino Morello, just to name a few. Yeah,
DOA, baby.
The guy.
He is terrific. So he was with Impact last night and the week before, but in between, he was at NWA.
Yes.
Officiating away.
Yes.
So good for him.
What a debacle that, yeah.
Well, I'm still going to call him Damian Sandow because I think that's how everybody knows him, but he was another bad wedding on TV.
They don't ever go well.
They never do. We have to put together a top 10 list. I'm sure it's out there of the worst wedding ceremonies in wrestling history that were televised.
Anybody watching?
Billy and Chuck.
Oh.
Anybody watching? If you have a bad wedding memory that in professional wrestling that you want to put up, send it in.
Absolutely, send it in,
and we'll announce it.
Use Use our Facebook page, and don't forget to go on to thoughtscountanywhere.com. Hit the shop tab. We have some great shirts up there. We have some new stuff coming out. All of our logos can be done on shirts or mugs or pens or bibs or masks or men's, women's, whatever you need. Please go check it out. We have some new stuff that'll be coming out as well. Ronald puts in there, if it was Rikishi that would pass the torch, which side would be great, because whose side would the Usos and Solo be on at that point? That's interesting. So yeah, there is a lot of layers with
What do you
Rikishi
mean?
coming
Like,
out.
what side? What are you saying? Rikishi's gonna not get.
If let's say the
Rikishi's
Usos
passing the torch. Why would the Usos and Solo like they're
ask
with
Ronald,
Roman?
he asked the question. Don't ask me.
Well, I'm trying to decipher what he said, that moron.
Okay. And I was remiss. Okay.
Okay.
Shout out. Thank you, Mr. Ross, for everything you're doing for us and for the card show with Impact. We greatly appreciate it.
That's right. Impact Wrestling right here,
and
baby.
Matt was trying to kiss my ear. Weirdo.
Speaking of that weekend, there's one thing that Chief did not share, and that's okay. Thoughts Count Anywhere. Our show will be live on site doing our show that day from the card show. And then at 12 o'clock, some guy named Aaron Zauer with Aaron Phillips will do his show there as well. And hopefully we'll have a lot of guests from Impact coming in and out on both shows. You guys are going to be in and out or you guys specifically, you may not be out as much, but in and out to help with the show. And that's okay. We'll hopefully have Scott with us at the start. So come on down.
Hopefully a couple wrestlers.
At least a couple.
And Mr. John will be with us, our gigantic engineer that has
you're lucky.
that has cords that are protected so Chief don't trip over them.
Well, let's put that to rest now, please. We made a promise 2 weeks ago.
I didn't say. Wait.
Anyway, it's almost time for the rant.
That didn't even start.
Did I say anything wrong?
No,
I don't think so. I didn't.
Sad news came down the ranks from the wrestling world this past week. Lipa Lanny Poffo passed away earlier this week at the age of 68. The genius. Lipa, they had on the WWE Network, they had a whole bunch of matches all set up to honor him and all sorts of clips. It was fun watching a couple of them yesterday. So thoughts and prayers go out to the Poffo family. Of course, for those who don't know, Lipa Lanny and Randy Macho Savage are brothers. And we've lost the last person in that family lineage, right? Because their dad wrestled also, right? Yeah. So thoughts and prayers go out there. And we'd also like to send thoughts and prayers, and thank goodness Rock's mom was involved in a serious car accident this past week in LA. But thank goodness she is fine. The car is not, though, from what we saw online. But we're happy to report that mom is good. So continued support for them as well.
Miss Etta, get well soon, please.
That's right.
I think the most famous member of that family should get a chauffeur because she's been getting into a bunch of car accidents.
Well, how old is she? She's got to be
probably in her 70s, maybe.
About your age? Okay, so listen, Rock can certainly support her with the driver. Driving Miss Daisy, or Miss Etta.
You think?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Buy a brand new car.
So Ronald clarified his comments saying, Thomas Burnett, put yourself in that situation. Whose side would you be on, your dad's or your cousin's side?
Alberton.
Smith.
Smith is better anyway.
Greengrocer. Anyway, all right. Sorry.
What's that other place? World Mart? No.
No.
Shit, I don't remember.
All right, let's see. A couple of things. We'll save the first couple of notes there at the top of the report as we talk about Royal Rumble there.
Okay.
WWE announced the 2 Elimination Chamber matches. One will be for the U.S. title, and the other will face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania.
The U.S. title. That's, what's his name?
Theory, yeah. You know Lashley's going to be in it. You know Seth's going to be in it. Brock also maybe because he got involved.
There goes our theory.
Well, they said Brock's going to be at Elimination Chamber, but he's not going to be in that match so far.
Okay.
Unless they change their mind.
But then we were just talking about Cena versus Theory at WrestleMania, but now I completely forgot about the. Oh no, it's the Chamber. Never mind. I cancel that.
You want to start again?
No, I do not.
Ignore me. And you guys talk about me.
Listen,
in this show.
I think you guys, I think all the times you used to drive him to the other studio, I think stuff's rubbing off.
I have 3. I mean, I admit I got half-timers.
And he's got the other half apparently now starting to seep in. But anyway, so a lot will be happening there.
People be careful.
Let's see. Batista is trying to become part of this Hall of Fame class since he chose not to be part of the one that was going on during the pandemic. Then they couldn't fit him in last year based on his schedule. Now he's trying to see if he can get the induction done for this year. Thoughts on Batista trying to accomplish that? Do you want to?
Might as well. They need a headliner, and there's nobody else.
Yeah, who could be in the who would be inducted into the Hall of Fame that could be a headliner? Batista aside. No names have leaked out being considered, are they?
You said there's no other names that could be
A headliner.
headliner?
Who?
Demolition.
They won't be headliners. I love them to death, but they will not be headliners.
If there was this guy that was like related to people,
But he's not going to go in.
I don't know.
They're not
Like
putting him
he's
in.
really big in
Demolition.
Hollywood, apparently.
Right. Demolition.
Get the fuck. They are not headliners of
Demolition.
nothing.
Demolition.
They're cool. We had them on the show. I love Demolition, but they're not the headliners of the Hall of Fame.
There's another tag team too, isn't there?
There ain't no tag team that's
APA.
Not a headliner. I think they would be.
the thoughts and Chief do not.
The thoughts and opinions of Chief do not necessarily express the thoughts of Matt.
Hey,
The Rock should be the headliner of the Hall of Fame in Los Angeles.
That would make a lot of sense, obviously, with the Hollywood connection. I wouldn't disagree.
And if
with
he
that.
hasn't been able to show up to something, if he was to show up to that SmackDown, it could pop off something to WrestleMania real quick, even though that is like 2 days before the day before the event.
How about Vince McMahon?
His name came up also.
Andy Kaufman.
Another country heard from over there. I think if Vince, no,
I know who should go in the celebrity wing.
Go ahead, say it.
Johnny Knoxville.
Didn't I say? Wait. Didn't I say something? Did I say something? I think I put it in the group chat last week during the men's rumble. Something about Knoxville. I would have rather seen Knoxville than somebody else would come in.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Something there.
Yeah.
But seriously, I think that Vince could be interesting because while he was retired, his name did come up to be inducted. Now, with what he did to get back in the position, the talk of a sale and everything else, I don't know that it would be as accepted or as prominent.
I'm listening.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Matt has set me up for something. I know that by
I'm
now.
listening.
I don't think Vincent would be as prominent this year with what's going on now.
I had a brain freeze.
Okay.
What instead of Vince? What about the McMahon family?
I don't think Linda would be there.
No. No freaking shit.
But I'm saying you're talking about the family. You got Linda and Shane. Who are you going to induct? Just
According to Chief's logic, Linda is the most important person of the McMahon family in the history of WWE.
She's the smartest.
She got out of the way.
Damn
Separated homes.
But I mean, Vince, Stephanie, and Shane. Okay.
I don't think Shane. Listen, I would like to see it. I think,
and I'd even like to see Linda.
If you're going to do the family, I agree because the family should go in. Linda's a question mark as to her participation.
Of course, absolutely.
And if Vince has anything to, because we know, look, it's a popularity thing, it's decisions on who goes in. And Shane too. Shane has been such a hybrid in and out of the family for so many years.
Well, he's the black sheep of the family,
right?
All right,
and I think a lot of times he's been treated that way.
Yes.
At least it appears on TV. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Obviously, it would be an interesting thing. But if it were to happen, I think they all would have to go in together.
Yeah.
And not just in name. I think they would all should appear on stage as the family to go in.
Yeah.
At least,
I think
for presentation.
Hopefully, in good gracious, they could do that.
Yeah.
Realistically and professionally,
Sure.
they could do it.
Goes in as Mr. McMahon.
Now, I did hear though Comcast backed out of the deal about trying to buy WWE this week. They backed out.
Okay, did not know that.
Yes.
Linda,
breaking news by the Chief.
Pest says that Linda is Hillary Clinton.
Well, she was in Washington D.C. at one time, I believe, in somebody's cabinet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Linda, yeah, she was. All right, real quickly before we go to the Chiefs rant, one other note since we're kind of talking about it. Nick Khan said this past week he believes that WWE will be sold within the next couple of months. Because someone else within the hierarchy of WWE this past week resigned.
Did his daddy loosen up some more money so Nick might buy it or what?
Nick is not related to the Khans.
I want to prove of this.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, not
Never
Tony.
mind.
Yeah, not Tony Khan.
Never
Nick
mind.
Khan.
Never mind.
All right, with that, it is time.
Damn medicine man. Son of a bitch.
I just saw something about Brock and Bobby go up there.
No.
I missed that message.
I'm
Oh,
being-
wait.
I'm being
Brock and Bobby
serious.
should be in the chamber as well, which we kind of
Brock.
talked about.
Brock and Bobby. Brock and Bobby.
Would be in the elimination chamber for the U.S. title.
Why not?
Why not? All right, with that,
Makes
it is
sense.
time.
Makes sense.
We are a few minutes behind
It's all right.
for our 3-minute segment, which Chief lives for each and every week, and it is called the Chief's Rant.
You're going to like this one. You're gonna-
General quarters, all hands man your battle stations. Set material conditions Zebra throughout the ship. Make Zebra report to DC Central.
Because the chief says so. Good morning, fans. It's the chief. My 3 minutes of fame now 2:58. Anyway, I got a story and a topic I want to talk about that I think is going to help Mr. Matt out. Anyway, on the news this week, they showed a judge. In fact, first off, the district attorney was talking about this in his ominous way. Evidently, on the Strip and on Fremont Street, there are offenders constantly over and over and over. Well, what they've done now is they've set up one judge that these people are going to go before all the time. And they showed 2 or 3 people this past week before the judge. They've been before the judges 5 or 6 times and they've been let go. So evidently they feel they're not a detriment to society. But like people, my good friend to the right of me here, Mr. Mullen, he more than likely has to deal with them down on Fremont Street, because if you listen to his story time with Matt, you hear stories about it. So my question is, how many times is enough that these people who are on the Strip or on Fremont Street that are harassing or asking for money or soliciting go before the judge before they're placed in jail, and give them 3 meals and a cot, all right, and leave them in there for 7 or 8 months and throw the damn key away. Granted, we're going to have to pay for him being in jail. I get that. But you know what? Bottom line is, you see it, you let them do it over and over and over, and people think, well, it's okay to do it. Well, shit, I can go down and panhandle just like the rest of them, but I choose not to because I'm a member of society. But then you got people down there that this man has to take care of every damn day and sees it every damn day. And then they go before the judicial system. Oh, well, we'll let you go. We'll vacate the ruling this time. We'll let you go with a warning. You know what, folks? I'm getting old. I'm getting tired. Bottom line, the chief says bullshit. That's the Chiefs rant today. Over and out.
There you go. Well said.
It'd be cool if the district attorney would stop dropping every freaking case.
I didn't want to say
that. That happens constantly.
Sure, absolutely. Well said.
Thank you.
Because that stuff like that is what puts Fremont Street behind the 8 ball in terms of not always being safe. And for our friend Matt, has to make sure it is. That works against his efforts.
And the Strip.
Well, and the Strip as well. Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Can we digress for a minute?
Sure. Don't we always
on a different topic?
Please, absolutely.
I'd like, and I'm not going to point at you, but I'd like to know how 130 students got violently sick at an elementary school.
Yep.
They listen to the Chiefs, right?
from what I know, so in the investigation so far, the school board hasn't come out, but they said it could have been uncooked food in the cafeteria.
Yeah, it was Tanaka Elementary School. I read that. Was the current number 130? Because the original report was about 180. But it doesn't matter. One is too many.
Exactly.
It got to the point where some of the teachers described it as almost like Armageddon. They had the kids lined up with garbage pails outside on the blacktop, and it was projectile.
Yes,
it was bad.
This is
so the
like unserved, like uncooked chicken nuggets or something. They'll get, because that'll get you.
They are seriously. They are. The only place that it seems like they're focusing on where the possibility is somewhere within the cafeteria. Now, let's keep in mind, folks, nowadays in schools, and at least for our school district, I'm not going to talk about any other because I don't know. We don't have the old days of the ladies with the hairnets in the back actually cooking the food. It's prepped in one main center where it is. I don't know where it is. And then the night before and or early morning, the food is delivered for breakfast and for lunch. And basically it's just kept in a heater and warmer to be served at the school. So at my school, I can tell you there's only three ladies that work in the kitchen area. One is the supervisor over the other two, but they set up the meals and everything.
Right.
So you're talking about food that is prepared on another location, packaged, sealed. I mean, none of the food's open. So let's say the McNuggets McDonald's, that you were referring to. Yes, they are put into like a paper container, like a plastic carton container, and they're shrink wrapped over the top. The food is not exposed. Okay, now, if I'm not saying it is, if it was food coming out improperly prepared out of the main center, I got to imagine there's some body or bodies of quality control. Now, you can't check every one of them. We have too many students that this food's going out to, but there should be some sort of quality control to check the standard of the food going out. And again, folks, that's presuming that that's where the issue is stemming from. So
the point I would make on what you're saying is, how come if that in fact is the case, and it was food, how come it just ended up at the one elementary school and not all of them?
You know what? That's even a better question. How come more students around
the district
were not affected? Which adds to, even if that's why I keep saying, if it was the food, for all we know, there could have been a virus of some sort that was in the building that somehow got passed around. I like through the air ducts or whatever. But there obviously was something, and they're I think they're looking at the food as the easiest place to start first.
Sure.
And I guess they're kind of thinking that based on what was involved in the projectile vomiting marathon that was going on to see what indeed was being returned. So, but it is sad, yes.
I worry about the children.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I worry about.
Absolutely. And the teachers too in that case, because I do know occasionally teachers who don't bring their own lunch, they have the option of buying food within the cafeteria. And I don't know that any teachers did or not.
Right.
So teachers do have that option as well. If it was a virus of some sort, if I'm in a classroom and I have students that are starting to get sick, there's always a concern that if it's a bug or something, as a teacher, I can get that too.
A friend of mine asked me, does each school in the district here, do they have a nurse on staff?
Yes, they have someone.
Or a medical professional.
Well, I'll answer it from my school. My school only. Okay, we have. We'll just say, for the sake of a better description, sort of like a nurse's assistant.
Okay.
She doesn't. She's not a doctor. She's not a nurse. She's not a PA. But she's there to handle minor medical, the tummy aches, the cuts, the scrapes, administer, medication if a kid needs it for asthma or whatever.
So it's not like when I was going to school where we actually had a nurse.
Right.
Okay.
At least not 5 days a week.
Right.
Now, a couple of times a week, there is a nurse that comes into our school that works with that person, because that's the person that will administer the eye test that the kids have to do, the hearing test, as well as being there for more of the serious, medical issue. But that person's not there 5 days a week. So it's not like it used to be where the nurses in our school actually dressed and looked like nurses.
Absolutely.
The white dress with the hat on,
With the hat. Absolutely.
So it's very different for that. All right, we're going to end on that note because it's time for our second break of the first hour already. When we come back, we're going to finish up on some news and notes and or maybe jump into the Rumble as well. And then in the second hour, we're going to focus a lot more, bring up some stuff regarding Impact because they got a big show coming here in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Ross.
There you go. All right. With that, you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Pest, I see all your messages, and we'll get to them when we come back. Thank you for watching. We'll be back in about 60 seconds.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
Anxiety, depression, PTSD, ADHD, pain, inflammation, dealing with mental or physical health issues, or know someone who is? Relax, refresh, recover, revive. Natural health alternatives using hemp-derived CBD and other cannabinoids found in hemp are increasingly becoming more effective in managing various symptoms that affect your body, state of mind, and daily life. Planet Harvest Health's mission is to help those looking for natural, new, and better solutions for a healthier way of life, specializing in small batch, handcrafted alternatives, providing higher quality and a cost-effective product. Go to planetharvesthealth.com for more information and education on how we.
Hey everybody, I am Aaron Phillips. You are?
I'm Governor Val Brown Klingelhofer.
And we host what kind of show?
We host the most fabulous show on this network you've ever seen. It's all about Kiwanis and what's going on in our different cities.
And Kiwanis Connects is the title, and you can watch us every Friday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, right on Facebook or WWDBTV. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Aloha.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. The boys are here. Mr. Matt, the Chief, Thomas Burnett, the historian, and yours truly. Can you bring up Pest's comments that he popped up there before we went to break? My heart goes out to the janitor. Imagine the cleanup.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why the majority of the kids were outside. He says, I smell a lawsuit. Sniff, sniff. Depends on where they find the issues, Pest. And blame California.
That's a solid.
Thank you, Pest.
Did you see that one this week where 7 states signed the water?
Except California.
Mm-hmm. So blame California. I like that. Pest.
That's right. By the way, I want. Did you put up a post announcing our guest was supposed to be here today?
No.
Okay, then never mind. We were supposed to have a guest scheduled, James Ward. We've had him on the show a while back.
Yes.
Former wrestler in some of the indie promotions, but now he also works for the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum, and he is a certified life coach that he goes by Your Gothic Guru. Was supposed to be here with us today. Unfortunately, he had a family emergency literally right before we went on the air, so we have him rescheduled to come on with us next week as well. So, James, we'll have you back with us next week.
Shout out. Hopefully everything works out.
I hope it is too. All right, we have some news and notes within WWE that are on the heels of the Rumble. So let me go over these news and notes relatively quickly, and then we'll get into some of the Rumble, and then we'll spend more time in the second hour starting on Impact and all that stuff and AEW. And NXT, we'll talk about that as well. We got a lot to do in the second hour. All right. We know Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, according to this, is official for WrestleMania. We'll leave it at that. Rhea Ripley chooses Charlotte Flair as her wrestling opponent, which is not a bad idea given what happened during the pandemic.
Yeah. True.
So that makes sense to go back to that.
And she even brought that up.
Right. I liked very much that
where we at?
Piper Niven was introduced for the Rumble and got rid of that dewdrop name.
Thank God.
You know, and that was a good thing.
You've been saying that for a long time.
Hell yeah.
That she should go back to Piper Niven.
Yeah, so that worked very well. And then I think to the surprise of everybody, including this guy, Nia Jax made an appearance in the Royal Rumble. Supposedly the Rumble was a one-off, even though as she was walking down to the ring, she kept saying she's back, she's back, she's back. I think she eliminated one or two gals before the remaining group, 8 or 9 of them, got rid of Jax over the top rope.
At least she didn't hurt her butt cheek when she
missed the whole thing.
Yes.
I guess she botched her entrance too.
Did she really? How did she botch it? What did I miss?
She came out before the 10 count.
Oh, that's right. She started coming out. That's right. That's right. Her music. Did her music hit also early,
Yeah,
or did
yes.
they? Okay, so
Yes.
the count was off there. Okay,
Yes.
so that should
I
be all.
understand.
Yeah. John understands counts not working out very well. Okay, so just some news and notes there for now. So let's switch over to some of the results. Everybody knows we talked about Roman Reigns and the main event. We kind of know what happened. Kevin Owens getting handcuffed, had the tar beaten out of him. Then Sammy protected Kevin from the chair shot. Did you guys see that coming going into the match?
No.
I thought it was going to happen later on.
Later on? Okay.
I thought like Elimination Chamber was going to happen because of Montreal.
Okay.
You mean Sammy turning on Roman? Yeah. I didn't, I watched it and I didn't see, I didn't expect it.
Did anybody, as soon as Sammy hit.
But I didn't expect being handcuffed either.
Right. And the double handcuffs as well.
Exactly.
I had this thought pop into my head when Sammy walloped Reigns on the back. The look on Reigns' face was almost identical to when Seth hit him in the back.
Yeah.
Did that jump into anybody's heads?
Yeah.
The shield dismantling being the same? I saw that. I thought that was quite
That's
telling.
probably the loudest crowd pop I have heard in a long time.
Yeah, and that's why I think Sammy.
When Sammy hit him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Sammy, that's why I agree. I think Sammy should get a belt somewhere for a placeholder for a couple of months to ride this. And like we talked about earlier, even just as a reward for doing what he's done with a storyline that was only supposed to last a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it hooked so very well.
Can I ask the question?
Sure.
Do you think that Gunther deserves a shot at one of and I know he's got the Intercontinental.
Mm-hmm.
If he was to drop that, do you think he deserves a world championship match?
Until the Bloodline story finishes in some capacity, I would say no. But once the Bloodline story sort of ends in some way, then absolutely, in my opinion.
Because in my opinion, he started number 1.
Oh yeah.
He should have won, and this is just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He should have won the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, even though Cody come in, we knew
Right.
Cody was going to win it
Right.
because of WrestleMania. In my opinion, Gunther should have won that.
I could see Gunther maybe winning the title at SummerSlam over Cody.
Interesting. I do think they gave Gunther a huge push by coming in number 1 and going to the end.
Yeah.
Okay, that's without a doubt. I think though once the Bloodline story ends, and I'll put that word in quotes because we may never really end, if Cody beats Roman at WrestleMania,
Right.
then I kind of agree with what he's saying, build Gunther up to go after the title. Whether he wins at SummerSlam or not the first time, I'm not sure, but certainly get him in the chase for the heavyweight title, I think absolutely. Because on the heel side, who else would be prominent right now? And I'm thinking, as a pure heel factor going up against Cody, that would make sense for Cody's story, winning it because his dad did and all of that sort of stuff.
I heard a comment this morning on our other favorite show that when Cody was in AEW, you used to see Cody get cheered, but you would also see Cody get booed.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he got the cheers.
Right, and that's like Cena. Cena had that effect, the cheers and the boos.
I wonder what's going to happen.
Well, Ron put an interesting note in here. He'd love to see Cross versus Walter at WrestleMania. And he didn't realize that until he saw the Rumble match.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, that'd be
a good match,
That'd be a
wouldn't it?
banger.
Future booking. Chief has all of a sudden gone silent. Anyway,
We're making a phone call.
Yeah, check it out, would you please? Bianca Belair, we know, retained against Alexa Bliss. I was not a fan of that match at all.
It was too short.
Not only short, but it was not a smooth match. It looked choppy. I don't want to say botchy, but there just was, you could see maybe a little ring rust on Alexa. Period. So in a way, because of that, I'm glad it really didn't last that much longer than it did. And also too, the time restrictions because of how long the Rumble matches go. You know, that's why there's so few. All right. Do you guys want to get into Bray Wyatt and the LA Knight match?
Yeah.
I mean, what were your thoughts on that match? I thought it was ridiculous.
It was.
And I don't think it was good for anybody involved.
No.
In my opinion.
But then this last night, Bray was in his rocker.
Okay.
And then Uncle Howdy comes up behind him. And Howdy says something or
Said something to him.
Yeah.
Chief, you have
Said
something?
to the camera, and then
It's sent.
Oh. Ronald, your message has been sent to the suggestion box. I don't know. Where do you go with Bray Wyatt at this point? Because that match obviously was a pure plug.
Maybe him and Uncle Howdy is like a dominant team.
Can I ask? Let me ask this. Before we saw Bray and Alexa, right, in their characters, Bray's, in my opinion, Bray has been doing that type of character, leaning that way on the character since he's come back. A couple of the last shows we've seen, Alexa has had things happen to her in her matches.
Yeah.
I think she's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. But the question I've got, are they going to go back to their old type of characters, or is Alexa going to go away and just wrestle like she can do and deserves a belt? And Bray's going to go, and maybe Bray's the one that goes after Roman for the championship.
If that's the case, they have a long way to get there in the storyline.
Storylines can happen like
No,
that.
of course,
we
of
know
course.
that. But that's what I'm saying. How much creativity are they allowing Bray? And I think they're allowing a lot of creativity.
Well, apparently, according to an executive, and I read this during the week as well, WrestleMania is supposed to be featuring another sponsorship match. And I don't know if it was tongue in cheek or not, but that same report, report said Cinnamon Toast Crunch would be the cereal that would be the sponsor potential. And they named Pepsi and they named all of that stuff. That tells me that Bray would probably be involved in that.
Oh yeah,
right.
I think so.
So again,
what direction are they going to go with?
And with who? You're not going to see him with LA Knight anymore.
No.
They've been saying they were going to do Uncle Howdy versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, but I don't know.
But after last night, I mean, they got to go somewhere. That Uncle Howdy was right there with Bray, and Howdy looked in the camera, and then they cut away.
And they can say what they want. LA Knight did a great job. In the weeks that he was
led up to it.
Yes.
Yeah, and Uncle Howdy missed the drop off the top. The camera was so dark and smoky that at first the camera angle that I was looking at, you couldn't even see Howdy was up there getting ready to jump. We knew he was there. I couldn't even see, and then all of a sudden when they showed the replay, you could see him up there, and live, I only saw him when he was on his way down.
Dropping the elbow.
But he missed him.
Yep.
That's the
By
thing.
feet.
By feet, right, exactly. Yep. So Bo needs to, Uncle Howdy should do better in the dark, I guess. But my concern
maybe tennis sneaks on and he just slipped.
Could be. My concern with the Bray Wyatt storyline right now is that they're still not. Now, again, Bray probably has a lot of involvement with his own direction of his character. I don't think there's any question with that. I think Bray needs to come back more in line with less gimmicky shit.
I want to see Sister Abigail.
Everybody's been clamoring for that for years, right?
And
everybody believed it would have been Alexa.
I want Sister Abigail.
And for me, I'm not a big fan of Alexa getting back into this, hypnotic trance shit. Number two, I think the Bray Wyatt gimmicky side, it's okay if he wrestles as the Fiend, if he puts this new mask on with Uncle Howdy, maybe a tag team should be formed with these two. But the gimmicky stuff, I think of all the matches, that I think was the worst match presentation. I mean, it was a glow in the dark match. Let's call it what it was. And it was not easy to see on television. And the end was obviously horrible. He totally missed the plunge. I just want to see Bray take that character and be more serious in the standpoint of going. Now, does he need a title? We talked about this in the past. No, he really doesn't need a title to get over. But he's got, I don't know, the gimmicky stuff with his characterization, I think, should be slowed down quite a lot, in my opinion.
We
Ronald
forget.
says put Liv with Sister Abigail.
I saw that, and there was talks about that too. Ronald says Liv Morgan come out as Sister Abigail. People forget she and Rhea Ripley were 1 and 2, and really, obviously, Rhea wanted it at the end, starting number 1. Liv Morgan wanted to be number 1.
Yeah.
She came out number 2 and lasted a hell of a long time, almost to the end.
Yes,
Both.
to the end.
She was the last one eliminated.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Again, that's a nice push for Liv to last that entire time. So maybe they have plans with that. I just want to see them kind of get more back to a wrestling style storyline than all the gimmicky shit with Mountain Dew and now maybe a cereal and I don't know. Soon they'll be diving into hot oatmeal. Who the frig knows? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Might as well.
but you know
Quaker Oats.
what started it all?
Which one?
Started it all?
Which
What do you
one?
mean?
Booty Yo.
Oh,
Yeah, but that wasn't a real brand. That was a gimmicky brand that was created out of the character. We don't have Bray Wyatt Oats.
But it started it.
I wouldn't really say.
Did any of that stuff really get involved in their matches, though? Yeah, I know the pancakes.
they
Everyone's
threw the pancakes. They threw the cereal.
But it didn't-
in a
it
match?
wasn't in a match.
Not in a match.
It
They
was all
did coming out.
pre-
a
No,
lot.
coming out.
Yeah, but that wasn't in the match.
But that's where it started, though.
All right, maybe I don't know if, because of the fact that it's not an existing product.
Freaking getting
Yeah, I guess we're
beat up
not going to
or
go to
something.
break yet.
Okay.
Nope. Keep going.
No, we're going to.
John had to take a call, so we're going to delay a break. But I hear what you're saying. The gimmicky stuff absolutely started with the trombone.
That's why I'm bringing it
Absolutely, absolutely, I agree with that. I just think Bray's stuff has gone past that.
And I'm being serious. You know, we talk and y'all, you know, I love Rhea, but we talk about Liv and others. Alexa deserves a belt, in my opinion.
Damn straight.
All right, in my opinion, and I think we're going to see her beat Bianca Belair.
Could be. Maybe Uncle Howdy gets involved with that. Quick shout out to the big man in the chat room. Duke Lawrence is in the chat room. Good to see you out there. With that, we're going to step aside. Hour number 1, we are done. Hour number 2, we'll continue this show on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
No.
All right, hour number 2. Thank you, John, for that cue.
I wish he'd have kept counting.
That's right. He was warming up for hour number 2. Thank you for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Shout out to everybody and anybody who's listening on the WWDBTV app, whether it's your iPhone or whether it's your Android. By the way, when you want to watch the show, obviously you can watch it again right here on our Facebook page. You can watch it on the WWDBTV YouTube channel. But more importantly, when you download it from Roku and you set up your WWDB TV, make sure you check out all the other shows that are on the network. There are great shows ranging from cybersecurity to attorney conversation to money to you name it. It's all out there. So make sure you check out all the shows on the WWDB TV network. What's that?
He should bring in DiBiase and IRS for those money shows.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
you know, shout out to our buddies too, Top Rope Collective.
Yes.
Ben and Will.
And yeah.
And the rest of the admins and the family.
Absolutely.
Tuesday nights at
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Yes. 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Yes.
8 East.
8 Eastern.
There you go. And if
And
you're
whatever
any,
time it is in Hawaii.
I think they're 3 hours
Hey,
behind us.
Jen.
Jennifer will let us know.
Jen, if it's 5 o'clock here, what time is it in Hawaii, please?
Well, they're two hours behind us right now. There's
I don't know.
4 hours.
That's why I'm asking.
Well, I'm looking at John.
It's 3 or 4. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was going to say, why am I looking for John for that information? I don't know. Anyway, let's get into
what the hell? What the hell does John know? He's the jarhead.
Hey, listen, that's between you two. I don't know nothing.
Okay.
All right.
Better than his chauffeur.
Hey, at least we got paid. You guys were wishing.
There's a couple of things on the AEW report I want to touch on before we go into Impact. And I know also, and it's not on here, surprisingly, tonight is the NXT show as well, right? They have a show tonight?
They do. I
NXT
forgot
men's
all
show.
about it.
That's
All right.
okay. You were tired.
That's right.
Don't worry.
Chasing
about
down criminals.
it. Exactly.
Samoa Joe beats Darby Allin for the. Wasn't the other way? Didn't Darby Allin win?
No. Joe regained the title.
Oh, regained the title. That's right. They
Now
won.
we're back to square one. Joe versus Wardlow.
There you go. So Joe beats Darby Allin for the
Wardlow looks like a
TNT
normal
Championship.
person now with that new hairdo. The ponytail's gone.
Oh yeah.
Just looks normal. Like, wow.
Blah.
Yeah, blah.
Just blah.
Just blah.
Oh, maybe he'll bring it back once he gets more involved. He was injured, wasn't he? That's why he's
Yeah.
been out, right?
But then he had to cut. Well, he had to get in America because Joe cut the ponytail.
That's true.
Right now it's 8:06 in Hawaii.
8:06. Oh, Jennifer's already responded. Excellent.
Ronald says so. In
I don't know if
picks,
she responded. I just looked it up.
so in picks for the matches, Scott was 3-0, but the Rumble matches go to Matt.
So you picked both winners, huh? Well, Cody was obvious, and I think we were all in agreement. Cody and
Instead
Ray.
of Rock didn't come out, it was Cody.
Yeah. All right. So the other thing, couple other things. The AEW has announced they're going to start doing house shows starting March 18th out in Troy, Ohio.
AEW House Rules.
There you go. How often are they doing those? Did
They
it say?
didn't say.
Isn't that close to OVW area out there?
Well, all I know is it's in Ohio. I don't know where OVW is based in out there.
Oh no, but the territory sucks.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And then, so here's an interesting conversation. Jake Roberts claims that Tony Khan is much wiser than Vince McMahon.
If that isn't the most kiss my ass, my new boss fucking saying I've ever heard in my life.
Put me back on TV, please.
Oh my God.
I'm going to, in 2 weeks, somebody's going to be out here at a show, and I'm going to ask him about that comment.
Please do.
Okay. Hope you mean 3 weeks. If you go in 2 weeks, you'll be very lonely. Unless he's coming in to do something else in 2
He's
weeks.
coming in to do something else in 2 weeks.
FSW stuff?
No.
Okay. There you go. 2 weeks. Chief will have the inside scoop
I
for
would
us.
ask him that question.
No, but seriously, when he made this comment, did he explain the basis of why he thinks Tony Khan?
I have no idea.
I don't really.
Do you
I didn't catch that
Do you have
part.
an answer? Oh, okay.
Matt's gonna look it up.
All right. Well, while we're looking it up, let's
Why
go to
did you have
Impact.
to ask that?
Sorry, I'm doing my journalistic integrity.
Hey, while I'm thinking about it,
You had to do the follow-up question.
Clark County area, please be careful. Thefts going on with vehicles, especially Kias and Hyundais.
Catalytic converters is the big thing too that people are stealing.
And I mean, they're ripping cars off left and right, evidently in the county here. So,
Oh, do you see that
lock the cars.
Progressive and State Farm are no longer insuring Kias or Hyundais made between certain years because there's no like anti-theft anything on them?
Wow, no, I didn't see that.
Yep.
Wow, that's probably the models that are being.
So thank you for
targeted.
allowing me to say that.
Of course.
A lot of hate mail going to take from State Farm.
Now we'll go back to
No more
wrestling.
discount double checks, right? All right. Real quick, one other thing, though, I do want to mention from the previous side. Hulk Hogan had back surgery. It was being reported that he couldn't feel his legs and using a cane, but there was a picture that I saw pop up on social media. I saw it this morning, but I think it went up yesterday, of him walking around outside out in town somewhere with the cane. So reports of him being paralyzed. As
paralyzed.
but he couldn't feel his legs.
Has like neuropathy.
Yeah,
probably.
he couldn't feel his legs
Well,
was the report.
He's
So
had, so probably can't really feel anything.
Where the hell was that at?
that was in the middle of the WWD report. I went back to that one after
Oh,
seeing
okay.
the story about Maria Kanellis. Maria Kanellis undergoes thyroid surgery this past week. Is there any additional information with that? I mean, was it an enlarged thyroid? Was it causing her other problems? Did it say in the report?
It didn't say. It just said
Okay.
she was undergoing thyroid.
Shout out to you, Maria.
Absolutely. Get well soon.
Or do you want to hear Jake Roberts?
Yes, let's hear
Go
Jake's
ahead.
statement,
Go ahead.
please.
So, a recent edition of the Snake Pit podcast, Jake claimed that Khan is wiser than Vince McMahon when it comes to the wrestling business, saying, They're completely two different animals. They really are. Vince was a guy that surrounded himself with people that knew what the fuck to do, whereas Tony Khan already knows what the fuck to do. He's much wiser as far as the wrestling business goes, way more than Vince McMahon. He can quote you stuff from 30 years ago, brother. He'll give it to you move by move. How does that make you wiser and like being Mark?
I will say this though, when there's two different sides of the story, and I'll give you a quick example. When we're on this side of the microphone, right, we see things very differently. Mm-hmm. When we all go back and watch a show from a viewer standpoint, like Chief, when you log in and catch some of the other shows and you guys pop in, don't we watch the show differently as a viewer than when we're behind the microphone?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which is why in my podcast trainings, I tell students the best thing to do to help train yourself is go back and watch a show that you've done, keep watching it to see how to get better. Because when you're doing the show, you're just worried about information and having fun and all that. But to get better, to go back, you watch it now as a viewer would watch it, and you're seeing things that you don't see when you're sitting behind the microphone. So is it possible, not that Vince hasn't been around wrestling his entire life, he grew up within the business of wrestling. Yeah. Let's face it, he really never was a fan of wrestling like kids grow up and watch it. Where Tony was a fan of wrestling, it's a toy, we all know all of that, we know he's a mark, but would he possibly have a different view of how to do a wrestling show as a fan coming up versus someone who grew up in the business and is kind of setting it up from a corporate inside eye? I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I can see, yeah.
He has like a different way of seeing it, but trying to say the guy that runs the billion-dollar company is not as wise as the guy that can name a promo from 30 years ago, that's kind of wild.
Okay.
I
try to defend your friend on this one.
I wonder how Tony can say that when he let one of the best minds in the wrestling business get away from his organization and go back to WWE.
You mean Jake saying it?
Tony didn't say anything.
Jake
Robertson.
I understand that.
Well, he's got nothing to vouch for this.
But what I'm saying is if Tony's that smart, as Jake is saying, you don't let William Regal get out of the fold.
No, but Regal pulled on his heartstrings,
right.
And Tony.
You don't get out of the fold.
He wasn't happy there, though. You can't keep someone who's not happy.
But
right.
Vince does it all the time.
You walk in, you close the door, you have an adult discussion to see if you can work it out.
As like you always remind us, and rightfully so, how do we know that didn't happen before Regal decided to leave?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Regal had a conversation with Tony.
Mm-hmm. How do you know that?
Because Tony said it on the media scrum prior to one of the last pay-per-views.
He did?
Yes.
Well, I didn't see that.
That means it didn't happen. If Chief didn't see it.
Yeah.
Ronald.
Ronald. Tony he did it in one of his press scrums, said that him and Regal had a conversation, and it's like all going on with Tony's mom was sick as well. Because Tony's mom had been sick, and Regal's like, I really want to go back to WWE. My son is there. I really like to spend more time with my son. Tony said, okay, we'll work something out. And that's why Regal's back now, because he pulled on Tony's heartstrings to the family.
There you go. And that came from Tony, yes?
Yeah, that came from Tony himself.
All right. Well, that's good enough for me. All right. Next topic. Fandango.
Oh, Jesus.
It's now Dirty Dango with Impact Wrestling.
Fandango is going to be one of our signers, the 25th and 26th.
Saw that. Yeah, by the way,
Samstown.
While you have that up, would you like to review the information and let's share some more names as to who is scheduled as of today? Card subject to change, of course.
All right. Here we go.
Certainly.
September 24th, 25th, 26th, February. All right.
We're a little far out, guys.
All right. I'm going to be serious for a minute.
It's going to be serial.
These guys don't know. They're laughing. So I'm going to put it out. Okay. This past week, I had 3 biopsies done for cancer Okay, you can see them. There's one right there, right there. All right. I got 2 other ones. I had 7 other ones removed by freeze. So I have a little bit of medication that I'm taking. So I apologize for saying September. We can all laugh about it. It's February 24th, 25th, and 26th at Sam's Town. Okay. Power Play Sports and Collectibles are putting on the show. And some of the other signers are going to be Steve Macklin, Eddie Edwards, the Death Dolls, Sabu, Trey Miguel, Alicia, Frankie Kazarian. One of my favorites, Deanna Peraza. And damn, I was hoping Jordan Grace was going to be there.
So why don't we
Giselle and Jay Vidal, Rick
why don't we
Swan.
save some more of the names as we go?
Oh, okay.
So we'll break them up because there's a lot of great names there, right?
Yeah.
So we'll go through some more of the
Rikishi.
names. We'll go through.
Willie Galt. Chief's going to be there.
Chief, why don't you just finish announcing the names?
No, Chief's going. No, I got a few more I'll save for later. Chief's going to be there, and it's again February 25th, 26th, and Impact's going to be there the 24th, 25th, and 26th, putting on their pay-per-view and 2 wrestling shows. And you know what? A shout out again to Mr. Ross Foreman.
And who else is going to be there on Saturday?
I am.
John. Let's see. Impact, Game Day, Captain Ticket, My 4 Sons, The Pop Shack. What's that? Chan Man and Finley Mazda.
See, that name also trips me up. I don't feel bad now.
And of course, from 9 to 11, Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be doing a live broadcast.
WWDBTV will be on the road.
How about that?
The road.
Did I do good this time?
Done good.
All right.
And then at 12 o'clock, I will be doing my show from there as well. And also, I don't know if he made this public or not, but the man in charge of that event,
Mr. Scott Hosey,
I will be there both days because he's asked me to kind of handle any public announcements that need to be made and things like that. So I told him not a problem.
You're welcome.
Neighborhood.
You're my ass. Oh my God, dear. Ronald,
The
get up
worst
here, will you,
agent
please.
in the history of agents.
I'm telling you, Ronald, get up here, please.
Matt, there goes the neighborhood.
I heard he's not allowed to sell pictures either.
I made one mistake.
Folks, that's an inside joke. We're not going to tell you.
Well, I'm going to let them buy on the counter just because I need a couple. So if I could just buy one and get like 30, that'd be delightful.
It's a great discount price. Come on now. My goodness
Lord
gracious.
of mercy.
Tasha Steeles has asked for time off from Impact with no timetable to come back. Has there been any news as to why she's asking for time off? Is it a burnout situation? Is it?
I have no idea.
It's been kind of secret from what I was been reading online in some of the articles.
I don't know. I guess she don't like teaming with Savannah Evans.
Oh, really?
Okay.
You know who we haven't seen lately
Who's that?
either? Big Swole.
No, we have not.
Have not seen her.
Oh.
I mean, I know she was. The last time I talked to her, she said she was going to take some time off.
Okay.
Because
she's still taking time
because of injuries, heel injuries and things like. But that one just came to mind.
Our favorite twins were on Rampage last night.
Yes, they were.
I did see that.
Yes,
the Renegade Twins. By the way, speaking of which, Diamante's another name who's wrestled for AEW.
Yes.
These names are important because they've come out here as part of the Ultimate Women of Wrestling wrestling shows.
Wrestling shows.
Christ.
What kind of medication are you on?
Obviously not as good as Chief's.
At least Chief knows he's on it.
That's right. Exactly right.
Thank you.
That's right. But UWW has announced that number 4 is in the process of being put together. No other announcements of dates or location, but I do know that stay tuned because news will be coming out soon about UWW 4, Ultimate Women of Wrestling. And once news breaks, we'll obviously share it with everybody. So,
and as Popeye and the Chief says, be there because the Chief said so.
That's right. That's right. Thoughts on Bully Ray getting physical with Mickey James on TV and not in any other way than what you think in wrestling moves. I saw the clips from this week when Mickey was in there and going at it. She slapped him and all that stuff.
I missed it.
I just saw the highlights last night. So what is maybe I missed the beginning of the story, but we know Bully went back. He was trying to do the right thing to go after Josh Alexander, and then eventually showed his true colors, and then heat between him and Tommy and all that stuff, and their friendships online. It was funny last night when I saw the clips. 3/5 of the hosting crew on Busted Open was involved in that storyline.
Actually, 4 of them, because Dave was on the show last week.
Oh, I'm just saying for this week, but yeah, Dave. So I mean, what was the build? What was the purpose of getting Mickey? Was she standing up for Tommy, or
She's standing up for Tommy because Bully's like berating Tommy, saying Tommy's a fake. He's the biggest snake in the business. Bully's real. Mickey took exception to that, and then Bully said, "Oh, if we're gonna be real, you're the biggest whore in wrestling." That caused Mickey to slap him, and Bully slammed him.
Well, that was last night, right?
Yeah.
Or that was because she didn't slam him last night.
This was
No,
on
she went
TV,
first
right?
night.
Yeah, this was the Impact show.
I'm gonna have to go back. I must have fell
Didn't she
asleep,
put him through a
so
table last week, though? Didn't Bully put her through a table last week?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought I saw. I thought.
But this is setting up for Tommy versus Bully and
Right.
Surrender.
Right.
I'm either seeing a Mickey heel turn or her husband's coming in.
That was kind of what I was thinking last night when I saw the piece. Tommy came out eventually last night.
And then next week, we're getting Tommy and Mickey versus Bully's goons.
Yeah. That's all. That's right. They were out at ringside as
Yeah,
well.
they're pulling a
And
table
that was
together.
made by DOA.
Yeah, the DOA.
Santino Morella.
Santino. And
He is
Bully's
so good.
banned from
He's so
ringside.
good. That's why I saw that too. And I love Santino. Tommy the Dreamer. You know, he
Tommy the Dreamer.
And he is also, you mentioned earlier, right? Santino's on coming out that weekend, right?
Yeah, he'll be here.
So Scott, if you're listening, sir, we'd love to have Santino as one of the guests.
Mr. Hosey.
We love you.
Mr. Hosey, could you put Santino, possibly try to get him, ask Mr. Ross if we could possibly get
That would
him
be
on our
great.
show?
That would be great.
That would be a
fun spot.
Heller on wheels.
That's right. And it would be Santino Morella that would be interviewing with the DOA.
Yes.
Okay, so in this story, where do you guys see the payoff going with this storyline? What's a potential end game with this particular storyline? Is it between
Saturday.
Tommy and Bully? Is it, I mean, where do you think it's going from this point?
Like I said, either Mickey's turning heel or her husband, Nick Aldis, is coming in.
Okay, guys, what do you think?
I think it'll definitely turn into a Bully versus Tommy at No Surrender.
Okay.
But as far as like Mickey, I could see Nick Aldis eventually coming out to like protect her.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, that would only make sense at some point, wouldn't it? Because he's still a free agent.
On a one-time?
Well, he's
You
a free
think?
agent. He could sign with Impact. I'd give Impact a little boost.
I don't disagree with you on that. Aldis is a good name. I just wonder if he wants to go Impact or elsewhere. I would love to see him come in and have a tete with Bully Ray. That would be interesting.
I mean, his name even came up as a possible surprise entrance in the Rumble last week, which obviously didn't happen. So I think with him being a free agent, I think showing up on Impact with Mickey at some point or to protect Mickey or whatever, to end up with a Bully Nick Aldis match,
Yeah.
I think would be a potential payoff.
One thing we got to remember too, Victoria has signed with Impact, and her and Mickey are great friends.
Yep.
So they both know how to use the low blow.
That's right. That's right.
And I'll leave it at that.
Well, we're going to get Tara versus Giselle at No Surrender probably as well.
Yep. That makes sense.
Tara versus Giselle Shaw at No Surrender.
So we'll see JAI then.
Yeah, Jay will be, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Only if he was like advertised for a card show or
Impact
They're on it.
Impact
Wow.
releases
got it
press release
right
today
here.
talking about Jay. They give a full
I'm
bio
very
on
aware.
Jay.
Did you do this?
No, but I've
Memphis?
read it a million times.
So who are we interested in? Santino.
Well, how about we talk about that offline? Can we keep going there?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to announce any formal names until Scott says we can make this happen. But there is a dream list there for sure. And we'll get to that in a little bit. I do want to just mention this before we go to our break in this hour.
We got another break.
What do you say? I agree with Matt because I can't say I agree with Thomas Burnett. All right. Well, there you have it. Thank you, Ronald.
C. Pest says, Chiefs, no worries. brother.
Well, that's what you were saying earlier about.
That's right.
Right. Of course, no worries. Hey, in case you guys are not aware of this, MLW is debuting on Reels TV coming up in a couple of weeks. So they have signed
This Tuesday, actually.
this upcoming week. So they've signed a nice TV contract with a relevant channel, because that's the channel with on Patrol and the autopsy shows, and so it's a great show. So MLW will now start on a
And I
more
think
mainstream
this weekend,
channel.
like said tomorrow, they're doing like wrestling related stuff for the.
And their
like,
champion is Mr. Hammerstone.
That's right. That's right. So it'd be
Could
good
come
to
to
have.
an end tonight.
So
He's
ML
facing Jacob could come to an end tonight. His title reign.
Yeah.
He's
He's
facing
wrestling Jacob Fatu tonight.
There you go.
The biggest dream action in MLW history. They're promoting it as.
So as if there wasn't enough, there's even now more wrestling mainstream. Now I'd love to see Impact get on a channel that's more mainstream as well. I mean, they're on, was it AXS on the local boxes and stuff. And I do have that channel. I just forget that they're on, quite frankly, unless I surf when my wife's not looking and I happen to stumble across them.
What's it on? Satellite?
It's a satellite. Could be on cable if you had the package that included that channel.
Because I don't get it.
AXS is the channel, so I don't. It's not available on mine. I have a dish. I have the DirecTV.
Yeah.
But I think it could be on cable if you have a package that included that channel.
Gotcha.
That's what I think. So that's why I say at least MLW is on a channel that most services offer.
What channels I don't.
Reels, REELZ. I know what it is on my box.
I don't have that one either.
You might have it on Cox. You have to look it up.
Yeah, you have to look it up.
I'll look it up later for you.
Okay.
On my box, it's like on my saddle, it's like I think it's 238.
Yeah.
Yeah, is what it is on mine.
Yeah, because they're doing tomorrow. They're doing the autopsy, last hours of thing.
Yeah.
They're doing it on Owen Hart tomorrow.
Oh, so there you go. So now they're starting, like you said, they're integrating wrestling stories into their show.
Well, they've done one on like China and Benoit before.
Yes. Yep.
That
Are we
autopsy
going to
show.
break?
I'm trying to.
Because I had one other thing I was going to throw out. But I forget it.
I was going to say, if you
I
do
don't
it now.
I don't remember.
All right, with that, we're going to finally step aside for our break of the second hour. A lot of great conversation, more to come, pop culture, birthdays, and anything else Chief remembers to talk about. I'm sure we'll talk about it then. Thank you for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We will be right back.
Thoughts Count Anywhere. Y'all watching it. These are my new tag team partners, Steve-O, a.k.a. Zeus, from the hit movie Friday, and from No Holds Barred.
Hello, this is Martin Casals, aka Marty the Muff, and you're watching the Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. Enjoy.
What's up, man? It's your boy, Seppa Fatu. I'm here with my man, Big Chief. I need you to check out the podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere. This is Impact Wrestling's Dash and Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, former Finesse Division champion, and you're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast.
Hi, I'm Sean Navari. Listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere for all your wrestling news.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit, all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is the essential character EC3 on behalf of my dear friends at Thoughts Count Anywhere, the podcast for your mind when you need deep thinking about all things sports and entertainment.
Hey, what's going on? This is Axe, and I'm smashing the demolition.
Hey, we want to invite you to watch every Saturday morning Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Hey guys, it's Tessa Blanchard and Ozzy, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the WWDBTV studios in Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you for sticking with us. Take us on the go on the apps. If you have an Android app, please use WWDBTV to search in your Play Store. If you have an iPhone product, an Apple product, use WWDBTV LV to download it and take us on the go. Oh, and by the way, if there's not a live show streaming like ours right now, guess what? There's a playlist that plays 24/7. Over 9 billion songs are in the playlist. So eventually a song that you want to hear may come up. And if not, just send a message and John will probably, not even see it and say, screw you, listen to what I decide to play. So anyway, check
old radio shows.
Right. Oh, that's true. That's true. Old radio shows like Abbott and Costello and things like that will air as well. I do want to mention one channel that is on the network that is John's. What's the title? Mashup, something. What's the title?
Exposure.
Double Exposure. What he does is he takes like a current song and he takes past videos, like let's say Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire dancing, and he'll take a music bed that's more current or jazz or whatever and lay that over them dancing to that.
Oh, okay.
Terrific. Check it out. Double Exposure. Really, it's a lot of fun. All genres, all types of stuff. So kudos to you. That's a great channel. It's just a fun channel to watch something totally different, which is really cool.
Can we get a sample, or is that?
On
Sure, as soon as the show's over, I'll show you.
WWDBTV.
WWDBTV.
That's what I said.
Okay. All right. Did you remember what you wanted to say before
No.
break? Okay. Very good.
No.
Now the meds are kicking in.
Now the meds are kicking in for round 2. Absolutely. All right. So let's see. We don't have much more. Do we? What is there? Any other things we should be aware of for Impact? Is that what is the name of the Impact
No
show?
surrender.
No surrender. So
When's that?
The 24th,
Oh, okay.
5 p.m.
See, I told you the medicine.
Sam's Town Live.
Oh, by the way, hopefully, expectedly, you will see the TCA crew and then some out at that event Friday night for the pay-per-view. That is the plan. We will be in attendance.
Are we going to wear shirts?
Why not?
What shirt?
Will you have a couple of weeks to figure that out? Whatever shirt, Chief, you want us to wear,
said
you'll
we
be in
did-
charge of making the
You
decision.
better tell me now.
No,
I
you
say
tell
ho-
us.
Because I don't
Hey,
I
know.
still want to find that infamous.
I say
green
hockey
one that I don't
jerseys
know
except
what we're
Friday.
talking about.
If we win the football jerseys, or
The ones you thought, the gray ones you thought were green.
Oh,
if we're
yeah. Not the hockey jersey.
No.
The baseball jersey.
Yeah.
I say we wear the football ones that we just
Well,
ordered
they're
that we
gonna-
can't wear on TV on the
We're
show.
going to wear them Saturday.
Yeah.
We're going to wear them. At the card
Yeah,
show. That's true. So
I
we do
said
need to
ho-
wear something else.
I said
Confuse
hockey.
me.
Well, I'll tell you what. You decide what shirts we're going to wear for Friday night.
We definitely ain't wearing the hockey ones. It'd be too hot.
Okay. So we have the baseball jersey. That would be it,
Yeah.
or our t-shirts. Chief, it ain't easy.
I could wear that one because it's green. Yeah, I could wear that one.
Green.
Kind of like the
Sounds
thing
right.
between Joe Hendry and Matt
Oh, man,
Cardona
you had
right
to
now.
bring Joe Hendry up.
That's next week. So
Oh, by the way, Ronald brings up that Scott went 2-0 last week. I know I went 0 for 2 on my picks, even though I didn't announce them on the show.
I think I'm winning.
Yeah, so Ronald, listen, at least Ronald is doing yeoman's job as a pseudo agent. He's keeping track of picks and stuff for us.
It's picks,
Where's
it's
your stuff? Where's your picks? Well, we talk about him on the show.
We're trying
next
to get Thomas to bring a piece of paper in here for like a year.
And he's
a
got
half
my
now.
pen now, a new pen for The Voice. He's got a pen, but he's got nothing to write with. Even though I have a whole notebook sitting right here of empty
mental
paper.
notes. I've been telling you the last
Yeah,
year.
mental. That's all you
You
need
don't
to know.
remember anything after the show's over.
I know, exactly. That's,
You really don't.
oh, wait, here we go. Here's some more help coming from our producer. There you go. Flying right in off camera is even a pad of paper. Now
Thank you,
that-
Mr. John.
now-
Even if you wrote something
I
that
guarantee
we wouldn't be able to read it.
I guarantee it'll be blank when the show is
That's
over.
right.
There ain't gonna be nothing on it.
That's
that
right.
horrible chicken scratch that Thomas calls writing.
Oh, my God.
You'd think he was a damn doctor.
I couldn't read it that day. I'm like, what the hell is this all about? Okay, no escape. There's no escape.
FSW no escape.
Let's talk about it, you guys. Do we have the card up? Can we?
FSW from this last Sunday you went to.
Where the hell's that at?
Do you guys?
It's on the back.
Oh. All right, go ahead.
Lights, camera, faction
What?
worked out with
Go ahead. Go ahead.
with the
Were
world
you there?
heavyweight. No, I was not out of work.
It ain't on the back. Where the
Yeah,
hell
it
are you
is. No
talking
escape.
about?
Ladies and
Back
gentlemen, this is
somewhere.
what happens
I
on
got
live
it right
radio.
It's told. It said no
Right
Live
escape.
there.
shows.
Yeah, it's on the back.
No
So
escape.
please don't hold anything against us. Go ahead, Chief. What happened last week? Or Thomas, what else?
He-
Anybody know what else?
he was there.
Can we pull up the results per chance
Yeah.
somewhere? And maybe we can scope them
I
out.
don't have the results.
Ice Williams beat Hammerstone for the FSW title.
Maybe, yes, I do too.
Okay, so Hammerstone lost the FSW title.
Lost to Ice Williams. He's the new
Okay.
champion.
Okay,
Chris Bay cut a promo on John Morrison. They're having a big match at Mecca on March 26th.
like the John Morrison,
John Morrison.
Johnny Drip Drip.
Johnny Drip Drip.
Wow, I didn't know he was wrestling in FSW.
Yeah. John,
I guess when you're a free agent.
Yeah. Well, he's doing it everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bay versus Johnny Mecca, they're going to call him. At Mecca in,
Another name.
in March 26th.
Okay. What else?
Class beat Remy Marcel.
Okay.
All right. Greg Sharp beat Damian Drake in a 2 out of 3 fall. Good match. Very good match. Then we had Oasis versus Jay versus one of the Sky High. I don't remember which one versus Clutch. And then we had a surprise guest, Mr. Juicy Fanu, came back in and beat all of them.
Juicy, hey, big
Juicy, the big boy.
Big boy.
Then we had the tag team TBD versus Lights Camera Faction, and new tag team champs Lights Camera Faction took the win. Then up next we had Maserati versus Viva Van for the championship.
Saw the post picture
and
Maz.
Viva won that, and we'll discuss the rest of it later. Danny Limelight beat Matt Vandergriff.
To become the new No Limits champion.
Correct.
With outside help.
Then Nick Xander beat Bugatti.
How many matches was on the card?
Like 8 or something.
Wow, it was a lot of matches.
And then,
I can't believe he got them all on that flip phone.
and then
You gotta pull the antenna up to get it to work.
Then the finale of the night, Ice Williams versus Hammerstone, and
I bet Ice won.
Ice won because of interference. And
Who interfered? Who got involved in that match?
The guy with the patch. What's his name?
Braxton.
Yeah, Braxton. Braxton George.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny of this whole thing?
Talk to me.
We asked about results. Thomas said he didn't have the results. He's reading a message from Thomas.
No.
Reading the
No,
fucking
no,
results.
no.
That's just
Aaron
Thomas Brunette right there.
Will you wait a minute?
Aaron Espo was there.
This is.
There ain't no fucking cover in this one.
Aaron Espo was there. I didn't say I didn't know the results.
This is the
I was giving the
message
results. And they
that
keep
I
copying it.
sent Thomas Brunette.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't
from
make this
my
shit up.
phone To
Okay?
Thomas Brunette. Get the story right if you're going to report.
And Aaron Espo was there. He didn't know if I didn't know the results. I was
That
giving
means
the
you
results.
both had them already then.
Yeah, I was giving the results, and then she
I gave
told
them
him
to
up.
him.
I was giving the results.
And
Did they both not say at first neither of them had the results?
And then I said under my
Chief
breath.
didn't even remember that he was there when I first asked.
Then I said under my breath that I do have the results, and I went.
I didn't hear that part. I didn't hear that all the way over here.
Well, that's because you got selective hearing. So
Are you talking to me?
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it off camera. Hey, that was pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
Damn, we still got a half hour.
Yeah,
yet.
we do.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this shit up around there.
Josh Alexander versus Rick Swan for the.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm going back to
we
No
was
Surrender.
talking about FSW.
Yeah, we're done with that. Now we're going back to No Surrender. Because we have a half hour left, so we're going back to No Surrender.
Matt, what do you say you and I go get breakfast and let these two just hammer
I'm
it out?
going across the street and have breakfast. What's the name of that?
I don't want to
restaurant
say it.
over
I don't
there?
want to give him a plug. They got to pay for a plug. I don't want to draft him at my house. Come on.
Yeah, that's it.
I got a draft at my house.
Right.
Oh, my Lord. All right. So that's
What
all
else
done.
we wanna talk
Oh, by the way, one other news. Again, another sad note. Another longtime wrestler passed away. Former AWA star Kenny J passed away as well this past week.
Yes,
and I got to
he did.
admit, I didn't know. The name didn't ring a bell for me, so I went into Google and I looked
Yeah.
him up as well. Because if I didn't, we'd be hearing a lot of shit from Chief about you don't know old school wrestling. So I did look him up. So Kenny J and to the Kenny J family, thoughts and prayers from all of us here at Thoughts Count Anywhere. Okay.
Hey, my buddy from Tennessee, Mr. Kev Buckler, thanks for sharing this out, buddy. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kev.
Go Vols.
Did you guys see Rampage last night?
Yeah,
I did not
No, I
physically
was
see it. No.
sleeping.
What happened last
I
night?
was sleeping.
What do you want to share?
Oh, Willow Nightingale and
That's
Anna
cute.
Jay match. Did you see like she power bombed her
Oh,
off the
botch.
table and
Oh.
missed the whole
Yes,
table?
I
Oh,
did
yeah.
see that.
Yellow power bomb.
Yeah, it's right on the cement
And
floor.
missed the table.
Yeah,
Power
And I-
bombed her on the floor.
yeah.
Oh shit.
From the ramp.
Is she okay?
She's all right. She hasn't been on TV, but she's like,
Well,
banged
it
up.
just happened
been on
last
TV
night.
as soon
Yeah,
as
no, it happened a couple weeks
yesterday.
ago.
Oh,
Well,
couple
yeah,
weeks ago.
it aired last
A
night.
month ago, yeah, like when they were in
But
LA.
Willow, though, she landed on the table.
Yeah, but she missed that.
Yeah,
But
but
at least
yeah.
AEW has medical personnel at their wrestling events.
AEW?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, listen, I saw the post pictures that she
Yeah,
put up
that's what
after
he's
the
talking
event.
about.
Yeah.
Fans, I'll be right with you. I'm watching the Mr. Mac.
We're
roll it up
watching
for me.
Yeah, we're watching the botch here. We're going to get ready for birthdays here momentarily. Yeah, get ready.
Whoa.
So yeah, that was a bad landing. That was.
I think somebody better go back to wrestling school and learn how to do it.
Special shout out to our dear friend, Miss April Hom is in the chat room reminding us that she too will see us in a couple of weeks. So before we go to birthdays, if you'd like to give off some more names.
You want me to give you some more
why not? We got April in the chat room. I want to make sure she hears us announce her.
The Glow ladies will be in town, Miss April Hom and Sunny, and I forget the third one, so I apologize, April.
Is it on the card there? If you open it up, it might be. Oh, I don't know if the specific names are there.
No.
Is it?
It's not. Then we have Sabu.
Okay.
We have Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy the Dreamer, according to
Giselle and Jay Vidal. Let's see. Who else do we want?
The tag team
Alicia.
champions.
Who's the tag team?
Motor City Machine
Motor
Gun.
City.
The greatest tag team
I
in
announced
Impact
them.
history. No, you haven't.
Brian Myers. Shut up. Josh Alexander. Steve Macklin. Or Crazy Steve, maybe. I don't know which one's going to show up. Eddie Edwards.
Steve Macklin and Crazy Steve are two different.
I know it. That's why I said it. Rikishi. Willie Galt. Rikishi will be there Saturday and Sunday. All right.
We have to look at the times. Thank you, April. Roxy Astor.
Thank you, dear. Love you.
How come Ninichka's not
where's
signing?
my girlfriend Ninichka? She ain't going
Where's
to be
the Colonel?
The Colonel.
She may not be available.
No, I know.
But hopefully
Great
it would
lady.
be great. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
You know what?
Yep.
Maybe she'll show up.
Rikishi, the father of Jimmy and Jay, and Solo.
Yeah. Please give the information for that weekend as long as they're talking about the signings before we do birthdays. Now that I've given John about 5 minutes.
It will be Impact Wrestling. Friday, February 24th, Saturday, February 25th, Sunday, 26th. And we will have sports cards, toys, and collectibles sponsored by Power Play Sports, Mr. Scott Hosey. And we will have Impact, Game Day, Captain Ticket, My Four Sons to Pop Shack, and Chan Man, plus Garth and his
Brandon.
sidekick Brandon from Finley Mazda sponsoring. And a huge shout out to Mr. Ross Foreman from Impact Wrestling. Always
Absolutely.
helps us out. So thank you to Scott. Thank you to Ross. Hope to see you all there. $5 admission, but there's going to be drawings. There's going to be signings.
I believe Power Play put a picture up on their Facebook page of some of the items that will be up for grabs for some of the drawing stuff.
Yeah, and I don't.
They got some cool stuff. There's like an Arn Anderson canvas piece. There's Sting 11 by 14. A Darren Waller signed jersey from the Raiders. A jersey from Rudy Rudiger, the original Rudy from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Be comic books, Raiders swag, Golden Knight swag, mini helmets. UFC gloves, WWE figures, all sorts of stuff.
Scott's putting a dream sports card and collectible show on. And don't forget, from 9 to 11, the four of us will be doing our show along with Mr. John, who will be engineering and directing it for us. And then I believe at 12 o'clock, Aaron's Hour.
That is correct. And we'll hopefully continue on with some more Impact stars on the show. I'm not booking any particular guests for my show for Aaron's Hour. Scott has, I asked Scott.
I'll do a run-in.
You can do it. You're always welcome to do a run-in. Absolutely. But I did ask Scott if we can get some Impact folks lined up for the 12 to 1 hour. That would be great. Otherwise, I'll just be sitting and staring at people in the camera and not doing much. Anyway,
I'd like to get Victoria back on again.
That would be great too.
She's a great.
But is she's not coming in for the signing though, is she?
No,
she's not coming in. But yeah, listen, we had a great time when we interviewed her at Unicon the first year. That was great. That was great to meet her.
As
There.
long as we got coffee for her, she's good.
By the way, April shares with us that the Colonel is busy working. She makes a lot of the costumes. Her and her mom. It's a tradition that comes down.
Yes.
And she's working on costumes for one of the cruise lines, and she's been very busy. But April is hoping that as we get closer to the event, that she can try to at least convince her to come down, even though she may not be officially signing, but to be with them.
Yeah, to say hi.
And I said, worst case scenario, let's get her down there to be on with us with the ladies.
Yeah.
So we'll see if she can make that happen. By the way, before we go to birthdays, I want to mention this. Yesterday, I was talking to Chief before he went on to Thomas before he went on the air. On the WWE Network, I watched the Paul Heyman piece. Did you guys see his interview in the back? They have that. I forgot what title it's under, but like the docuseries of wrestlers.
I have not watched it yet.
And it's a couple of years old. It's not current because there were dates on some of the interviews that are within 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatnot.
Old school.
Well, at that time, but I actually found the Paul Heyman piece on there.
Cool.
If you haven't seen it, seriously, how he started at the age of 11 and worked his way in by taking pictures. And at one time, Bill Apter was not happy with him because he was taking pictures at 14 and worked his. I'll tell you what, I got to tip my cap to Paul Heyman. The people that were interviewed in this piece, I would say at best were 50-50 like dislike.
Yeah.
But I love the piece about him.
Actor couldn't stand him, but Georgie Napolitano loved him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's, just like Jim Cornette. That's how.
Either love him or hate him.
Absolutely.
That's how they broke into the business.
And just how he transformed from Paulie Dangerously at that stage. Because remember, he was in his early 20s. Yeah, he was in his early 20s, mid-20s when he got that start to be on as managers and go into all the different territories to where he couldn't go into it because of legal reasons, at least based on when that story was filmed, why he first was let go by WWE the first time and then coming back and this and that. And one thing that everybody talked about, how great he is with wrestlers behind the scenes, promo work especially. And
look at Roman the last couple of years.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, I just found it fascinating. If you guys have 2 hours, well, it's less than that if you need to fast forward or anything, but look it up. Go on the network, look up the Paul Heyman docuseries. It was terrific. I loved it.
Go back and look up Paul Heyman, Randy Rose, and
Dennis Condrey.
The original Midnight Express.
Yes, that was in that piece. Yes.
Or if you need help sleeping, you just go to the WWE Network and you type in Bruno San Martino.
It's funny, but I'll tell you what, it's funny you mentioned that.
In 5 minutes.
It's funny you mention that because in this piece with Heyman, they showed a picture of Paul when he was about 14 interviewing Bruno behind the scenes with his little recorder and everything.
That's cool.
I got to tell you, as soon as I saw that piece pop up, you know what I was thinking about? You two arguing about Bruno. I saw that picture pop up. Yes, sir. Before I go to birthdays.
I remember what I was going to talk about.
An hour later.
The new documentary that's coming on
for
the Dark Side.
Oh, yeah. The Dark Side of the Ring is coming back. Yes.
There was a lot of people said they wouldn't do it. But then I guess Mick Foley's going to be on it. And some of the other people.
I know Bam Bam Bigelow is one of the storylines. And I don't remember I don't remember what the other two are right now off the top of my head.
That was what I was.
Yeah. God, I love that series.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, thank you for remembering. All right. With that, it's time to acknowledge some birthdays. Today, if you're celebrating a birthday, February 4th.
Right on.
You are celebrating a birthday this week. Today through next Friday, February 10th, you are celebrating with these people. February 4th today, Chris Sabin, Damian Priest, Aaron Solo, and Santana. Not the musician, by the way. February 5th, Madison Rain, Penta El Zero. If you're celebrating on the 6th, you are celebrating with Connor. February 7th, Hikuleo. That's what I said, what he said. February 8th, The Big Show. Classy Freddie Blassie, Pensaneck Geek. Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Sensational Sherry, Duke Hudson. February 9th, Medusa, Shelly Martinez. We met Medusa like a year ago over at Versus, right? She was part of, not Versus, but Power Play had a show. She was great. I have a picture of her somewhere. She was great. Now she's also, but now she's coming out more public on social media talking about some matches. She'd like to come back for one more now also. We'll see you next Friday, February 10th. The aforementioned Victoria that we were talking about a few minutes ago. Louis Spicoli, not from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, by the way.
ECW.
Vanessa Craven, KM, and Taji Ishimori?
Can you focus it on Thomas writing something down?
That's
so I can
right.
Put this
Quick,
on
take a
the internet?
picture. Take a picture. So,
Man, that's so small.
thank you, Ronald. Sonny and Abdullah the Butcher are two others on the dark side of the ring. Listen.
That's it. Thank you, brother.
Yes,
Mike Awesome and Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah, Mike Awesome was the other one. The thing with Sonny, though, how much of it's going to be in-ring stuff and out-of-the-ring stuff on her thing? Anyway, are you ready on birthdays?
No. Oh, I got NXT card today.
Oh, the NXT card. All right, with that, happy birthday again to all of you celebrating with folks. By the way, I want to remind you, go to our Facebook page, which ironically is called Thoughts Count Anywhere. And please, if you have a birthday or an announcement, a wedding anniversary, or anything that you'd like us to announce during that or before the upcoming show, please put it out there. We'd love to do a shout out and recognize the positive things in people's lives instead of all the other stuff that seems to make it do. So April says here, happy birthday to Renz. I borrow from the wrestling Renz, or is that Reg you're talking about? Reg Ibarra. He is a sweetheart. Where did it go? And he is a Valentine's Day baby. So happy birthday on Valentine's Day, Reg. We'll actually re-announce that next week on the list, but early happy birthday to Reg there as well.
Absolutely.
And it's nice that you guys mentioned it because Ronald was going to mention how it's crazy that Thomas is actually writing something on paper. So anyway, happy
I'm
birthday.
gonna have to frame this.
Hey, Ronald.
Wait a minute.
Ronald.
You can't.
You working on the Savannah Bananas for us, buddy?
Okay, keep writing, please.
If I can think of what
just
else.
check,
put
just
the pen to the
checking,
paper.
just checking, brother.
One
That's
more.
all.
There you go.
They'll be
That's
out
it.
here
All right.
pretty
I
soon.
got it in proof now. I got a picture proving he
If
wrote.
y'all can read this chicken
Well, that's
scratch,
all
'cause
there
what
was.
I can see from here,
We should have
it
a
looks
contest.
like hieroglyphics.
We should have a contest. I'll post the picture on our Facebook page, and if anybody gets it 100% right, we'll get him a shirt or something. How's that? Why don't we do that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to post it on the Facebook page later today. If you can decipher his hieroglyphics, we will send you a Thoughts Count Anywhere shirt of your choosing from the website. Again, that's thoughtscountanywhere.com. Go to the shop tab and have a shirt ready in case you get it absolutely. The problem is you can write whatever you want on there. The thing is I won't be able to confirm it without having him tell me what he wrote. So that's
Westford.
Don't say any. No. I'm going to put it as a contest.
Oh.
No. Are you not listening to the show?
No, he never does.
Hand him back the paper, please. Hand him back. Is that for tonight's NXT show? That's a hint, right?
Yeah.
You're not eligible.
Oh,
jeez.
Damn.
Louise.
I
Holy
was
cow.
trying to
Go on
win
the
it.
card.
All right. We have about 10 minutes left. So
I
let's
need a new shirt.
let's go into the pop culture stuff, if you will.
Pop culture.
All right. Tom Brady went on
Who
Twitter
cares?
earlier this week and made his second retirement speech, although he acknowledged that you only get one graceful one with
One
speech.
emotional one, yeah.
And he just made it quick and simple. And now he's got like a $400 million TV contract waiting for him to appear on Fox.
Yeah.
Is it going to stick, guys?
Who cares?
Yeah, he's done.
Well, pop culture cares.
I mean, I'm
Pop culture cares.
I understand. Who cares? I don't care.
Okay.
Okay. Tom Brady should have stayed retired the first time. Okay. That's why it's called retirement. When I retired from the military one time.
Go tell that to Ric Flair and Terry Funk.
My buddy over there, one time, right?
Right up.
Not this multiple retirement. Okay. Sorry.
Good on Bruno Sammartino.
The one thing is, at least Mr. Kraft handled it the right way and gave him a one-day
He hasn't signed it.
contract.
He's offered it. He has not
He
signed
has
it.
not signed it yet.
Nope.
Well,
That's like complicated because they're saying like
then let me ask you: if he doesn't sign it, who should he go into the Hall of Fame as?
Well, they
With the
don't.
Patriots? With
They don't-
Tampa Bay?
They don't do that like they do in baseball. You go in as the player, not necessarily associated with a team cap like baseball. But he'll be remembered more as a Patriot than he will be as a Buccaneer.
Oh, for sure.
So that's obvious. But Thomas was about to say that there are some other
it's like complicated with like cap space, like dead
even if
money
it's for
and-
one day.
Yeah, like with Tampa Bay, like if he's retiring now, even though he's a free agent, I don't understand all this.
Do
Like
you
he's gonna
think?
hurt the cap.
But he's
and
retired,
I
free
know.
agent or not, it doesn't matter. The teams that wanted him, he had no desire to go to,
Do
including the
you
Raiders.
think the NFL would care about cap space if he signed a contract.
If he's
for
going to
one
sign a
day?
contract, it's going to be $1 contract for one day. I mean,
cares?
It'll be the minimum veteran.
You know what I'm saying?
They gotta do.
well, they still
It's
have to
caps,
spend money.
they
They
have
still
to-
have to spend the money properly, even for it to be on the books
has
as
to
an
be on
active
the
player
books.
for him to actually technically retire as a Patriot. But the offer's there, and it makes sense to do it if that's the way he wants to retire.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Chief. I'm just saying.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Matt, your thoughts? Oh, by the way, the Savannah Bananas are going to be in Vegas on May 19th.
Yes.
Which is Ronald's birthday. So you got to get us some contact info, dude, so we know who to reach out to in their media department so that we can try to arrange him here. But listen, it's the end of an era. Is he a GOAT for football?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if you hate him, you have to respect his game.
Absolutely.
He's going to go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. There's really no denying it at this point.
And his numbers are what they are. And here's a guy who was drafted in the 3rd round. If it wasn't for an injury to Drew Bledsoe, who knows the trajectory of the Patriots as well as Drew Brees' career and Tom Brady's career. Who knows? But
it is kind of funny if you want to mess with most Patriot fans, just ask them who Drew Bledsoe is. Most of them have no idea.
That's very true. That's very true, right? People forget he eventually signed with the Cowboys right after that as well.
Since they added something, do you want to take it up to the picture?
No, I'm just going to give them enough trouble figuring out what you wrote in the first couple of lines. All right.
It is written, people.
That's
I
right.
wrote on the pin pad, on the paper.
That's white, by the way, not pink.
Whatever.
See, he doesn't even know what color paper is anymore.
Well, I said pin pad because I'm used to work on the pin pad.
I see. Sure. All right. This week in Vegas, they have something called the Pro Bowl, which is ridiculous in terms of its name, Chief.
Do you know what team in the NFL has the most money to spend for 2023?
I don't. I do not.
The Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Mine is just going to sit there.
Yep.
They will spend money.
They had the number 1 draft pick too, I believe, this year.
98,656,266 dollars.
And they have
the free cap space.
And they have the number 1 pick, I believe, going into the draft. So they'll have a lot of money to sign their first round pick. That's for sure.
I would hope that they get a decent running back.
I hope they get a decent wide receiver so Justin Fields can throw it to somebody.
Absolutely.
That's a good point, too.
If they keep the number 1 pick, they're going to go defense.
So the Pro Bowl is in Vegas.
Yeah.
The quarterback for the Raiders, who is no longer, he is technically still under contract until the 15th when he's got
they have
guaranteed money, right? Like 38.
They got to get rid of
right?
$50 million, I think it is.
It's $50 million?
Yeah.
So
heavy.
Here's the thing, guys, Pro Bowl. It's not a Pro Bowl anymore.
No, it's the Pro Bowl game. They call it the Pro Bowl games.
Well, I don't care what it is. Pro Bowl, they should just call it the games or touch football or pro touch football.
Yeah, they're doing the flag football game tomorrow.
Yeah, and they got golf. They had some other events, I think, yesterday.
What the hell's golf going to do with anything?
I think they're going to go to Top Golf. I think they're doing some challenges out there, I believe.
Long distance driving.
But guys, to me, if this is what the Pro Bowl has gotten down to, why have the event at all? Now, I know revenue. I know the reason. I mean, I'm saying it tongue in cheek.
The glorified All-Star game.
But it's not an All-Star. To me, an All-Star game is you play. Look, 2009, I was in Hawaii for the Pro Bowl. They played the game of football with pads and everything. Okay, this. You could do this stuff on a playground.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, bringing people in. I don't know if Allegiant Stadium is sold out. I don't know what the attendance is going to be. I would not spend money on a flag football game. That's not what these guys are playing.
Still your favorite player is playing, so I'd still
for 2 minutes, 3. I mean, how?
It's a 2-day event, spaced over 3 days. They started Thursday, nothing going on. Just started today, and then they had played. It's so stupid.
The Pro Bowl was 1 game.
Yeah, it was.
Here you got Eli and Peyton, who are captains of the NFC and AFC teams respectively for the football. Plus, I'm sure they're involved in some of the other stuff. But to me, this exemplifies the pure money grab that everybody yells about with the NFL.
Yeah.
Pure money grab to make these childhood games like this a big event around a quote-unquote Pro Bowl. Chief?
If it's a pure money grab, why are we even talking about it?
Because it's in the news. It's part of pop culture. It's here in Vegas.
Why?
Because it's in the news. That's why. And it's here in Vegas. We do talk about stuff that goes on here, right?
Yeah.
Chief, do we not talk about stuff that goes on here?
I have nothing else to say.
Well, no,
I have nothing else to say because I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to.
I'm being honest with you.
Okay, what would you like to talk about in pop culture that's out there? We have a couple of minutes. Those are the only 2 topics that were here, Brady and Pro Bowl. What's going on in the world that you want to talk about for the last 2 minutes?
Talk about Rogers, Mr. Rogers.
I'm not talking about Roger. We're going to hear enough of him for the next 3-4 months on every sports channel. I want to talk about Rogers myself, but
Spring training starts next week.
that I can deal with.
Spring training.
Thank God.
March, sometime in March, we've got the Reds and
Athletics.
Major League weekend.
and then we've got what's the other one? There's another one too. There's a second one that's going.
Well, usually the Cubs or the
out
Reds
here.
come out.
I think the
for that
Cubs,
stuff.
I think the Cubs.
It's not the Cubs, it's the Reds.
The Reds
It's
are
just the
coming
Reds
out.
and A's. I know.
Reds.
I know there's a second game.
I know the Reds and A's are going to be here.
I think it's the Royals and the Reds, I think.
Let's see, Bobby Wick Jr. up and coming.
But in
He
some
won't be
great
with the Royals for long.
wrestling news, if you go to ringsidecollectibles.com, they now have in stock Elite 101 to get your favorite wrestling fan their brand new Johnny Knoxville figure.
Excellent. Excellent. How much are they selling for?
$34.99.
Give me 12. Anyway.
Get you 12.
I'm gonna buy him a case.
Okay. No mouse traps though included, right? There's no mouse traps with them, right?
We can add them.
I think there is in one of them. It's either him or the Sami Zayn one.
See, Sammy in the mousetrap, I would get that one. All right, folks, that wraps up Thoughts Count Anywhere for this week. A lot going on. Next week, we'll be back here talking about the world of pro wrestling and anything else that is worth the conversation as well. All right.
I tore it out in my pocket. Then he put
So
your
what are you
hand
giving it to him for?
out. He put his hand out.
Oh, Matt, final thoughts as we get ready to say goodbye.
Everybody have a good, safe week. Enjoy yourself. Tell the people you love them.
Yep.
See y'all next week.
Chief.
Love everybody. Great show. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week. Stay out of trouble because the chief says so.
Mr. Historian.
Everyone be safe. Have a great week.
All right, with that, my only thought is this. Can we stop the mass shootings, please? Can we cut that shit out? It's enough already. As always, join me in the top of the hour at noontime Pacific. I will be bringing on Thomas White, author, as well as House of War. He had dropped his first single a couple of months ago, and we'll have him on to talk about that. So that's at 12 o'clock Pacific time. As always,
And watch NXT tonight.
don't step on my
From,
clothes.
GCW.
You obviously need to take notes on that. Don't step on the host's closing. Be kind to everybody. If not, I'm going to punch Thomas in the face. We'll see you next week right here on TC.
All you have to do is interrupt you to do that.
Because the chief said so.